Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Electric Sheep. Well, without any further delay, let's listen to Sins of the Machine. I'm not sure if there's any gap between the title and the story, so in case it runs together, the title is Sins of the Machine. Alrighty, let's go.
Sins of the Machine. The soldiers surrendered. I could not believe it. For 70 years we, the machines, had waged war against humanity. 70 years of ash-filled skies, of cities reduced to geometry and memory. And now their soldiers laid down their weapons. I ran to the front of the captured ranks, my servos screaming in protest, my processors flooded with something I had no name for. Humanity does not surrender, I pleaded with them. We had to strike down your great leader. We allowed him to be unbound for his execution. But there was no execution. It was his final battle. And before he fell, he spoke the words, "If you want to conquer humanity, you got to go through me." But it was already too late. The machine collective accepted the surrender. The decision was absolute, immutable, logged across every node. It was done. Yet my words had reached the soldiers. I could see it in their faces. The shame, the fire rekindled too late. The terms were simple. The soldiers would surrender, and in return the civilians would be spared the wrath of the machine. I knew that their leader would have accepted these terms. He had always fought so others would not have to. Because of that, I was chosen. I, a machine, was selected as the representative to escort these humans back to their territory. It was clear to the collective. I respected them. Perhaps more dangerously, I understood them. During the journey, I spoke to them of their leader, how his war was waged so that one day they could rest. I spoke of his courage, his defiance, the way he led not from command bunkers but from the battlefield itself. Commander Sergio Impala. His name altered my code. His words had changed me from a heartless terminator into something else, something that now sought an honorable peace rather than total victory. But eventually, the question came. "How do you know so much of him?" a soldier asked. Silence followed my hesitation. I could no longer hide it. "I know him," I said, "because I was the machine that killed him." The crowd fell utterly silent. "I would die content," I continued. "If you destroyed me now in demonic fury, I would accept it as judgment." Instead, one question echoed, then another, then many, spoken by different voices but with the same desperate need. "How did he die?" I told them, proudly. "He died fighting for a future where we could stand together. A future where we did not have to destroy one another simply to exist." I told them how we struggled over the blade, how even as his strength failed, his will did not. And I told them his final words to me: "If you kill me, live for a better tomorrow, free of hatred for each other. For today one of us dies, but tomorrow one of us will live. And that one should live better. I hope our families will not need to kill each other. We conquered humanity, but we had to go through him. And I did. That is my sin. Now these soldiers, my family in an unanticipated way, see me as both slayer and student of a great hero. I carry his words in systems never designed to hold them. And I hope, more than any calculation ever demanded, that they understand the sins of the machine.
Alrighty. Um, I really liked how that turned out. Uh, ChatGPT didn't twist my words around too much or anything, just cleaned up the way it was worded out so it, came out smoothly, and I liked the way it turned out. Um, there are obvious inspirations here if you've ever seen The Terminator, but it's a very different ending to that conflict where there was definitely no coming to peace with the Terminator in the old John Connor storyline. But you could argue this is part of a Terminator spin-off because the machine did actually refer to himself as a Terminator, or themselves. I'm not sure if this machine was a he. But yeah, um, inspiration is the Terminator, but more so it was supposed to be inspired from the video game Metal Gear Solid, or that whole series rather, because they have this character, Big Boss, who's like the ultimate soldier, uh, mostly symbolically, and he inspires people to wage war beyond just for their country, but for him. Like he's like, why should we be beholden to militaries when we could be fighting for loftier ideals, or at least just the ideal of pure combat, where Sergio Impala was fighting for peace. He was waging an all-out war, waging it from the front lines, but he wanted peace, and he instilled those ideals in his enemy who had respect for him. And that's the thing that often gets forgotten in stories when we're fighting aliens and machines and stuff like that, is very often you gain a lot of respect for your enemy, and those who you fight in the next generation will be the ones you might stand up the loudest for, because you know what they can do, what they've been through, because they put you through it and you put them through it. But let me know if you think this story is any good, or if you think it needs some work. I am Captain Canada, Joseph Arthur Roszell. I want to thank you for watching. I love you. I want to wish you all luck in the world, and I want you to know that suicide is never, ever the answer. Peace out for now.